Good morning to those on the platform already. Early birds, I see.
Good morning, Chair. Am I audible?
Yes, Honourable Farmer, morning to you. Very audible. Are you in Acacia Park?
No, I'm at the office at Parliament.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Thank you. Morning, Georgie. Thank you for that. I left to go and make some coffee and I forgot to switch off.
Not a problem, Chairperson. Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Quite chilly, but well, thank you. And you, Chair?
I don't know. I'm still trying to find out after our long session last night with small business development.
Oh,
But
dear.
every day is a new day, so we take it from there. No, I'm just
Indeed.
joking. I'm well, thank you. Can't complain. But I must agree, Cape Town is chilly in comparison with Mpumalanga. And where Nico Honorable Pinal comes from, Limpopo is even warmer. So
Yes.
he's adapting. He's not adapting to this cold weather.
Oh, dear. Yeah, it seems to seep into your bones.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Good morning, Deputy Minister. How are you this morning?
Good morning, Chairperson. I'm good and it's just cold. How are you?
I can't complain, thank you. No use. Nobody's going to listen. Good to see you again.
Thank you, Chairperson. Thank you, Honorable Chair. Thank you,
Yes.
Honorable Members.
Sorry, Chair, we haven't started. I'm just saying good morning because
Okay, all right.
it's not 10 o'clock yet.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Could I ask who Zaytun is, if I may be so bold?
Good morning. She is the DG's parliamentary liaison officer.
Okay, super. Thank you very much. Mario, if I may ask you, there are only 4 minutes left, just to give the members a call to find out who is joining. I know many people are ill at this point in time, so that we can start at 10 o'clock, if you don't mind. I see it's only Honourable Farmer, Honourable Pina, and myself from the committee.
Will do, Chief.
Thank you.
Hi, Chi. We do have sufficient members to start. We have apologies from Honorable Kennedy, who said she will be arriving late, as a flight is landing a bit late. And then from Honorable Langisa Nodada, she said that she might be joining us late as well. And then I know there's one member who needs to also leave at 12:30. So we do have sufficient members to start, Chi.
Okay, super. If we can just note those apologies and then just alert me to those that need to leave earlier so that we can recognize that as well. I see we have another minute, but we do correct, so I think we should start. Good morning to all the honourable members, to our honourable Deputy Minister, the business rescue practitioners, and any guests that may
Recording in progress.
And any guests that may be on the platform. Sorry for that. It was just the recording going off. Members, Honourable Minister, before we begin with the agenda, we're going to do it a little differently this time around. I, as chairperson, need to formally raise a procedural matter regarding a request that was sent to me by the business rescue practitioners. They have asked that certain parts of their briefing be in a closed session. And speaking to our secretariat and she liaising with Advocate Ali, we are entitled to do so according to Rule 127 of the NCOP rules. However, to ensure that we manage this process transparently and in full compliance with these rules, I suggest that we follow the following set down identifications, where the business practitioners must specify the portions of their presentation that they believe must be presented in a closed session, and then the reasons for this, such as whether the information is commercially sensitive, relates to legal risk, or involves internal personal matters or intellectual property. Now, as you know, Rule 127.1 requires that any closure of a meeting must be reasonable and justifiable. And therefore, the committee, the members must be satisfied with the motivation given to us by the business practitioners. Mardia, before I carry on, could I ask you just to flight the letter that we received and read it to the members so that they are also aware of the content of the letter? Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. Okay, Chair. This letter was addressed to the Chairperson, and it says SA Post Office briefing to the Select Committee on Financial Sustainability. It says we refer to our letter dated 23rd April, which we received an acknowledgement from Ms. Koff, as in myself, the Committee Secretary. We enclose here two presentations as follows. SAPO presentation to Select Committee dated 14th May, and SAPO turnaround plan for in-committee meeting. In our letter dated 23rd April 2025, we requested to present SAPO's turnaround strategy in a closed session, as the strategy forms part of SAPO's intellectual property. To present the strategy publicly will prejudice SAPO and compromise its intellectual property. It is for this reason why the request to present in the closed session was made. We have made similar requests to other portfolio committees which have been considered and approved, including the Portfolio Committee on Communications and Digital Technologies and the Portfolio Committee on Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation. We repeat our request to present the turnaround plan in a closed session. We believe that presenting this turnaround plan in committee will provide the Select Committee with an improved understanding and required detail of our vision and strategy for the business. In closing, the BRPs continue to maintain an open and transparent process in reporting on the developments on the business rescue proceedings. It is vital to stress that BRPs were not in willful default in not personally attending the Select Committee meeting on 15th of April 2025. There were valid reasons for non-attendance, and we elected our senior officials to present the report to the committee on behalf of the BRPs. We refer you to our detailed letter sent on the 23rd of April. The BRPs and SAPO executives look forward to the engagement this week.
Thank you very much for that, Mardia. Now, before we cross over to the honourable members, I would like to ask the business practitioners, whoever is going to lead, to speak to the committee members and propose to us what sections or relevant portions you consider should be handled in a closed meeting. After that, I will invite comments or questions from the members and then seek their formal majority support. However, should there be any legal or technical questions that could arise, I'm going to ask Advocate Ali to please come in, as she has the knowledge with regard to this. So if I could ask the business practitioners to please inform myself and the committee members which sections should, or which sections you propose should be considered under a closed meeting aspect. Over to you.
Thank you, Chair. I'm just going to put my camera on so that you can see my face, but I'm going to put it off because I have a bit of technical problems. My name is Juanito Dalmans. I'm one of the appointed business relationship practitioners together with Anush Ruplal. Madam Chair, we previously and in previous committees, as was read out in a letter, requested that the presentation around the turnaround of SAPO and was work that was done during the business rescue. And it's work that SAPO is paid for, obviously. And we feel from a business rescue perspective that, the turnaround strategy is SAPO's intellectual property and should be respected in that way. The issue that we have is that a lot of the strategy, sorry. Oh, okay, sorry. I thought I had said so. The issue we have, Honourable Madam Chair, is that the presentation contains many aspects that were dealt with during business rescue, and it deals with issues around our competitors out there and how we deal with them going forward. Our issue is that until this turnaround strategy has been implemented, it should be confidential to SAPO, its affected parties, and its shareholder. I don't know if that's clear enough or Anush wants to add. Honourable Chair, the turnaround presentation is a separate presentation. So the first presentation that we would like to make to the committee is a presentation that talks about what has happened since our appointment as business rescue practitioners up until now. The second presentation is a presentation that we are asking that be made in committee, and we feel that letting SAPO's intellectual property before it's even been implemented out in the public will be prejudicial to SAPO. Thank you. I don't know if Anush wants to add anything.
Thank you very much, Mr. Damas. Committee members, we have an explanation from Mr. Damas that their strategic plan, which could not implicate, which could put them on the back foot should their competitors have access to it, on the back foot. So if my suggestion would be that they indicate to us as soon as they are going to start presenting which section is to be presented in camera, and then when they finished with that presentation, indicate to us that this presentation is now complete so that we can ask those on the platform during the closed sessions to remove themselves, and Madia, as our secretariat, ensures that everybody is off. And once that section has been presented to us, we break for 5 minutes to allow the secretariat to again invite those back onto the platform. She will keep them in the holding room and we will take it from there. Okay, I see Honourable Pinar and then Honourable Farmer's hand in that order. Thank you.
Chair, sorry, there's also a comment from Mr. Modisi on the chat, Chair.
Okay, Madia, can you just read? Sorry, Honourable Pinar, let's just read the comments.
Chair, it's from Honourable Modisi. He indicated he wanted to know if we could hear from the Deputy Minister before the committee makes the inputs.
Okay, a very valid question. Deputy Minister, before I cross over to the honourable members, could you give us your take on this?
Thank you. Thank you, Honourable Chair. Honourable Chair, I took the legal advice in this regard from the business rescue because they are both commercially and legally specialists. When it comes to the aspects that are viewed as commercially sensitive and with the implications they have, could they be presented in the open public? In other words, I'm aligning with them, of course, hoping to secure the indulgence of the committee in that regard.
Thank you very much, DM. Honourable Pinar and then Honourable Farmer.
Thank you, Chairperson. Good morning, colleagues. Of course, Deputy Minister and the Business Rescue team. Chairperson, I'm not sure if I'm completely satisfied yet. I found the Business Rescue answer a bit lackluster, if I can use that word. You know, first and foremost, Chairperson, we must remember, and this is so critical for us, and there's a reason these are public meetings and they're open for the public, because if any plan of SAPU was to succeed, they will be using public funds. Now, since we are using public funds, and we're talking about billions of rands here for this business rescue plan, the public needs to know what these funds are proposed to be spent on. With that being said, I want to go through a few other points that I need some clarity on before I'm 100% satisfied with regards to this meeting being closed. Speaking about with regards to intellectual property, if it's really groundbreaking initiatives, I'm sure their legal team has applied for patents that can be easily be defended in court if their competitions or were to get hold of it and maybe used on their side. Secondly, if there's an effect on the market, possibly, maybe they are planning an initiative with another publicly traded company, and maybe those stocks might be influenced on the discussions. If that's the case, that's something different, and we need to be made aware of. Of course, then that might be grounds for it to be closed if there's a third party involved that's publicly traded, because we don't want to, let the cat out of the hat, to put it simply. And also, Chairperson, I must be honest, the business rescue practitioners must not have an overinflated opinion of themselves. SAPU has been on the back foot, and the one of the speakers spoke about that. SAPU has been on the back foot for the last 20 years. This presentation is not going to change that. They have been on the back foot squarely for the last 20 years. And that's why I'm saying, let's not be careful, and they must not be careful to overinflate the opinions of themselves. That's just my opinion. I just want to make sure I'm 100% satisfied and justified for this meeting to be closed, Chair. At the end of the day, most importantly, this is going to be publicly funded business rescue. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honourable Farmer.
Thank you, Chairperson, and good morning to everyone. Chairperson, you know my view. I think there might, if there are any reason.
Honourable Chair, I can't hear the member properly.
Sorry, Honourable Farmer, sorry to interject. The Deputy Minister says he can't hear you properly. Could you speak into the earphones or into the mic of your laptop?
Okay, now.
Okay, we are struggling to hear you.
Can you hear
There
me
is.
now properly?
I can hear you now. Honourable DM, can you hear him?
Chairperson, can you hear me?
Well, a little bit. It's okay. You can proceed, Chair. We are at your
Thank you,
grace.
Honourable
Yeah.
Okay,
Honourable Farmer.
Chair, I'll try to be short. I'll try to be short, Chair. In the event that some of the information might be sensitive, I would propose that we go for a physical meeting with this one. You know my feelings around this, and I suggest that we do so, even if we have to find time, like we did last night, to do that. But I think going physical with this one might be a better option to go. Thank you.
Honourable Modise.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning to honourable members, Deputy Minister, and the colleagues on the platform. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, thank you.
Chairperson, thank you, Chair. Chair, I am sitting here and I've got difficulty in understanding what the business rescue is saying to us with regards to closed session, privacy, and all of that. And I hear the DM, and that's why I was asking that the DM comes before we come, so we have an understanding from the executive point of view, what is their feeling. And the DM indicates that from the consultation with legal team, he or the department or the ministry then agrees that the information might be extremely sensitive, especially towards the competitors and all of that, and therefore there should be that element of presentation that is treated with discreet. And Chair, you would know last week we had a serious difficulty as the committee to come to an agreement on this meeting today being physical or virtual. And after much deliberation, we end up agreeing that let it be virtual, with the belief that we'll get the presentations. And today we're told that some of the presentations should be done in person as opposed to virtual meeting. I believe, Chair, that for the longest of time, we've been struggling to get this entity into a meeting. There's always an excuse, this or that, and all of that. I am of the view, Chair, that today's meeting, we don't take any presentation. We have this meeting here and now. We all agree that next week, Wednesday, Chair, at 10 o'clock in the Parliament precinct, this entity must be in that meeting. The DM must move everything and anything that he has to do next week, Wednesday, between 10 and 1 o'clock to be in that meeting so that we deal with this thing once and for all, because it cannot be that in all the entities and departments that we deal with, this is one entity that time and again, they always find an excuse. They don't come to our meetings. They don't apologize. We don't get to know why they're not in our meeting. The next thing you are told that they were not aware of the meeting or they wanted to send a delegate. There's always a story when it comes to this entity. My proposal, Chair, is that we move everything that we're supposed to do today to next week, Wednesday, 10 o'clock, Parliament precinct, and everyone that is on this platform must be in that meeting. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honourable Modise. Just to answer you on next week, Wednesday, we already sent out invitations to which the various departments have answered and answered positively. So if we were to move this meeting, cancel it, then that would mean Mardia will have to look for a session after ours like we did last night. We cannot have it between 10 and 1 next week. Having said that, I see Honourable Dlamini and then Honourable Mabilu's hands have also gone up in that order. Honourable Dlamini.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, colleagues. Good morning, DM. My apologies, Chair. My voice is still not good, but I hope that I can be audible. Am I?
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, when dealing with this entity, this is what we are going to expect moving forward. And this is what had put this entity where it is today. Exactly what we're experiencing. So, Chair, I will support that we have the meeting physical and all role players be in the meeting. However, Chair, we can look on the day, suitable day, like you have already indicated that next week, Wednesday, we have already scheduled meetings. Let us have a suitable day, even if it cannot be next week, Wednesday or Thursday or any other day, that will see it suitable and have the meeting. And if the committee members, we agree that it be in the evening next week, Wednesday, then let us go that route, but we need a physical meeting, and this is what I think we've been emphasizing. But because we are human beings and we are dealing with human beings, we understood their request of virtual meeting. Now we have this reasons that you don't even understand. So, Chair, let us go to the physical meeting. Thanks.
Thank you for that, Honourable Lamini. We must just remember that before we take a decision, I'm going to ask Advocate Ali to come in, because whether we have it virtually or whether we have it physically, the question on the table is the closed meeting. So we need the legal and technical background as to how we're going to address this, taking it forward. Having said that, Honourable Mabilu and then Honourable van den Berg.
Thank you very much, Honourable Chairperson. Good morning, Chair. Good morning, members on the platform, DM, and the officials. Chair, I think I'm equally disappointed by the developments, which are negative, and I will not belabor this issue. To say that the reason as advanced by SAPO reps is not plausible. So therefore, Chair, I stand to second the proposal by Honourable Dise and Honourable Dlamini that the meeting be postponed and be physical. But we must send a strong message to SAPO that their demeanor and conduct is totally unacceptable. It is outrageous and it's very disappointing. They are not making us a favor. They've got to account, because it's about the taxpayers' money. So based on that, Chairperson, without belaboring the other points raised by the other colleagues, I support the proposal that is being tabled, and then we'll take it up from what the legal advice is going to advise us on. But it is also, because maybe it's my last bite on the matter, to say to the DM, I think throughout our portfolio committee, select committee meetings, you have always been consistent in terms of attending. That is plausible, DM, and we commend you for that. So therefore, it can't be that on this very important day where we have set aside a meeting, compromising on the request for them to meet us virtually as opposed to physically. Then we land ourselves in this point that we are in. So my colleagues who really strongly push in the previous meeting that this meeting should be physical, they are vindicated. They are vindicated. We were some of those who were lenient because we wanted to dispose of the serious matter of SAPO so that we can give the public the key constituency, the outcome of how far are you with that. So DM, thank you for your consistency and your principled support. But one of our entities, we must say, is going to be in serious trouble. We are not going to let it off the hook. By hook or crook, it must account. That's the message. And I think today we are very soft, but we will deal with them formally in the meeting. It can be. We're almost more than a year now in the team, always nothing that is forthcoming. Shifting the goalpost from time to time. I think, Honorable Chair, based on the legal advice that we get, we will take it from there. If we've got to subpoena them, we must subpoena them. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair. But I am very much disappointed in the conduct of SAPO. Thank you. But thanks to our DM who is consistent and always there to account for us. Thank you very much. And I know this is a matter very close to the DM and all of us. Thank you very much, Chair, for the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Mabilo. Honorable Van der Berg.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning to everybody on the forum. Chair, I agree with you. You know, a bird in the hand is always worth two in the bush. We can have a meeting maybe later, but let us get the information. Let us start working on what is on the table. What if we do not get a second bite? What if there is not a meeting that we can arrange? Then we have nothing to work with. So my personal suggestion is let's go through the information. Let's hear what he said. Let's take the guidance of the advocate. And then we can arrange another meeting. But then at least we are armed with something that we can take to the table. I thank you.
Thank you very much for that. I've now heard the different views from the members, and I just want to stress again, the request is for a certain section to be a closed meeting where delicate information could fall into the hands of people that it should not be in. It's not that the whole meeting is going to be closed, but let me leave it at that. And I'm going to ask Advocate Ali to just come in and speak to us with regard to Rule 127 of the NCOP and any other technicalities that could impede or assist us in this matter, whether it be virtual or in person. Thank you. Advocate Ali.
Good morning, Chairperson. Good morning, honorable members and colleagues. Chairperson, I have indeed looked at the matter before the committee. What concerns me, and the matter was brought up by Honorable Pinar earlier on, is that this matter has been in the public domain for quite some time. However, there's also confidential information that is being dealt with by the business rescue practitioners. The concern that I have is the freedom of speech, which members have, together with the confidentiality that the business rescue practitioners are requesting to be maintained in the committee. The Constitution, as well as our rules, allow for committees to conduct their business in the way they see fit. But the concern here is that the information, members are not privy for that to that information as yet. So there's no guarantee that if the members agreed to this meeting being a closed, or portion of the meeting being a closed meeting, that is confidential. I haven't seen any such documents thus far, and I'm sure the members haven't either. Without having that information, it's very difficult to determine whether that information can be classified as confidential. It's just the business rescue practitioners saying to members, this is confidential, hence we would like a closed meeting. With regards to public information, there has been some outcry about the whole SAPO matter being ongoing for quite some time. And I know that there is a general concern out there shown by NGOs, our own media unit, the media houses around this matter. So in determining that, members will have to weigh the maintenance of confidentiality in terms of the business rescue practitioners.
Advocate Ali, we've lost you. I don't know if you've muted yourself. Mardia, can you just have a look?
Chair, she's still on the platform, Chair. I think she just got. Oh, there she.
My sincere apologies,
Sorry,
honourable members.
Shamara, sorry. We lost you for quite some time. Could you just repeat, please?
Yeah. Chairperson, what I was bringing to the members' attention is that with regards to the confidentiality, the members, together with the support staff, do not have that documentation in front of us. It is just the business rescue practitioners saying to us that this information is confidential. It's part of our business rescue plan. Hence, we would request the matter to be a closed matter that's been discussed by the committee. However, taking into consideration what Honorable Pienaar had said, this is a matter in the public domain. There has been a lot of attention that's been shown to this. There is accountability that comes into play, considering that public funds will be utilized. As much as this is intellectual property that belongs to the business rescue practitioners, it is public funds that is being used to develop this plan that has to be executed. So my concern is, if we allow this meeting to be a closed meeting, we shut out the media. We are not allowed to transcribe this information and make it public knowledge. So it's just the members of the committee, together with the support staff, that will have this information. And there's not much that we can do with this information. It's important. And then there's specific rules and guidelines in the Constitution, together with our rules, that ensure that this information is being made public. Sorry, Chairperson, I see there's a hand. Chairperson, am I audible?
Yes, you are, Shamara.
Shamara, you may carry on. Thank you. I will attend to the hands after you've completed your input.
Okay. Chairperson, the members will have to weigh up the value of keeping this confidential information between or amongst the members of the committee, or just restricting it to the members of the committee until such time that it's public knowledge, or have the meeting open and let it be divulged in the meeting. The danger is that this matter has been ongoing for quite some time, and restricting it, will the information that's going to be presented, is it confidential enough to hamper any further progress? Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much for that, Advocate Ali. I think clarity has been given to us. Before I cross over to Mr. Rupal and Honourable Farmer and Honourable Pienaar, I saw the Deputy Minister's hand was up, but it's down now. Honourable DM,
No.
would you like to say something?
Thank you, Honourable Chair.
Over to you.
Thank you very much. Am I audible?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm very careful of interfering with the engagement the committee is having, which is actually someone that's here. Having listened to whatever that is being said, Honourable Chair, I know this item we're discussing now has never been easily agreed in Parliament. And I also take note of the fact that you say you don't have this information. You are being asked to treat it as confidential. So in other words, it's our own judgment, only that on which this is based. It remains, commercial sensitivity remains applicable whether it's private or public sector. Because if the commercial success sensitivity is about the success of the post office. The money that is funding the post office is the money that must be guaranteed that the intended results are going to come. Therefore, if sensitivity, commercial is one of the factors that determine that success, it is also, in my view, the protection of that funding of the state. But however, listening to what has been said, I still need your guidance, Chairperson. The fact that you don't know this information, and I'm also one of those who are not sure how secure in committee is a virtual meeting. I would ask the committee to consider, it's up to the committee to decide, is it not wise to act on the side of caution, to align with what Honorable Disa and the others are saying? Whilst you are allowed quietly as a committee to look at this, especially your legal person, to have a look at this information, let the legal people agree, discuss, and advise, and then maybe the proposal by Honorable Disa be considered. These are just what I want to share with you. Otherwise, I respect the direction the committee will take. But I was saying, is it not now that time where we act on the side of the caution? Because what if this information is really commercially sensitive, is detrimental to the success of the post office? What if it is a conclusion is reached that it is not? We're not in that position either way, unless the information is shared with yourselves or maybe with your legal people. So that's why I was saying maybe acting on the side of the caution in line with what Honorable Modise says, maybe is a safer route. I thought maybe you know this information, and I do not know the procedure of sharing that information when a decision of this nature is supposed to be taken. I hope I've not taken too long, Honorable Chair.
Thank you very much, Honorable DM. However, why did the practitioners not then provide us and the legal team with the confidential matters that they deem confidential and wanted in a closed meeting prior to this meeting? Then we wouldn't be sitting around this virtual platform discussing a way forward. It does make me a little skeptical as to why the sudden request. They could have forwarded to our legal people, and Advocate Ali, who's been assigned to this committee, could have gone through it and advised us as committee members prior to the meeting. And then DM, I also want to say that we must just take into consideration it wasn't SAPU practitioners that requested for a virtual meeting. It was your department because they had other commitments. And then at the last minute, your DG, who requested the virtual meeting, sent an apology late last night saying that she will not be or he will not be available today. This is just not on. The way that this committee is being treated is really, really problematic. But leave it as it may. Mr. Rupal, I'm going to ask you to lower your hand because this is a discussion that the committee members are now speaking about and speaking to. So once their decision has been taken, I and the committee will consider whether we're going to give you an opportunity to speak. Honourable Farmer, your hand, and then Honourable Pinar. Thank you very much.
Chairperson, I hope I'm audible.
Yeah. At this point in time, yes.
Last time.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, based on what the advocate is saying, I think, and I must agree with the DM that we should err on the side of caution and deal with the information first on whether it is necessary for closed meeting. Unfortunately, we can't do that now. We cannot, in an open setup that we have at the moment, decide whether this should be closed or not.
Honourable Farmer, we've lost you. Honourable Farmer? Sorry, Honourable Farmer, we cannot hear you. Honourable Farmer, whilst you're sorting out your problems, Honourable Pienaar?
Thank you, Chairperson. Chairperson, I just want to raise three important points. Firstly, I want to thank Honourable Mobilo. I would please like his apology in writing on a lighter note. But with that being said, Chairperson, we must all take note as a select committee. The moment the business rescuers entered into an agreement with SAPU, they knew this was a public SOE and subject to public scrutiny. So before they even engaged with SAPU, they knew this was going to be public knowledge and open to public scrutiny. I think that's a very important point. It's not now suddenly, no, we have to hide things. The moment they entered the agreement with SAPU, they knew it's subject to public scrutiny. Secondly, and Farmer touched on that now, and I think that's the essence of his point, and I want to agree with him, is that the advocate just now, our own advocate, made it very clear. She is unable to determine whether this is confidential information without seeing the documentation. She has not been provided with that documentation. Now, as chairperson, it's up to you to maybe say, okay, send it to our legal team, let them decide. But clearly, as the advocate indicated, this is not, she's unable to make that determination without reviewing it. And lastly, chairperson, but most importantly, the public needs to disseminate the information shared. And this must be made public. Remember, we are not a business magnate sitting in this committee, chairperson. We are led by the people who elected us. Now, I'm very sure whatever is to be shared by SAPU and the business rescue team today will be disseminated in the public eye because it's using public funds. Now, I'm also very sure that they are very worried that some people out there might say these are silly plans, or maybe these are great plans. Either way, chairperson, we're using public money to bail out a SOE. The business rescuers knew this is a government entity subject to public scrutiny. I think we should be very wary of in any way, shape, or form hiding information from the public. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much. Honourable van den Berg.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, it feels like we are misleading ourselves, Chair. We have been struggling over a year to get to this point where we can get access to information and start working on this problem. Now, we are debating around information that we have not even had privy to. And then we are deciding whether we are allowing more time delay, which is making it worse. Let us go into the meeting, have the advocate listen to the information with us today, then she can make a decision, and at least we know what we are dealing with, and at least we are moving forward on the problem. Because if we do not, another year is going to pass by with us not having any results. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable van den Berg. Mardia, may I just ask from you, this letter that the practitioner sent was dated the 8th of May. When did you as Secretariat receive it?
Yes, Chair. I saw the comment from the DM in the chat. I did indicate in the chat as well.
Honourable Mabilo, just mute yourself, please. Thank you, Mardia.
Hi, Chair. Yes, just to indicate that that letter was dated the 8th of May, but we only received it on the 9th of June.
Thank you very much for that. I just needed clarity on that. So that is also very problematic, is that that's also misleading. Now, we read a letter to the members dated the 8th of May, but the Secretariat only received it on the 9th of June. So again, what else is kept from us? But having said that, before we go over to a decision, I just want to say Honourable van der Berg, it is good that Advocate Ali goes through everything, but at the end of the day, it is for the committee to make the final decision, as we are holding the executive to account. So the onus lies with us solely. Honourable Mabilu, over to you.
No, thank you. Thank you very much, Chairperson. There's no doubt in my mind that this is a contentious issue. But I think it will not be very strategic on our part to circumambulate around the matter in terms of protracting it, whether we sit in this meeting or we move next to the meeting. I think the benefit of hindsight will be very important in us, and I think the intervention by the DM is assisting us. But I'm saying that we will focus 100% on the key issue. That is the rescue plan and what support, what the rescue team has been mandated to do. That cannot be moved out of our sight. So the point that I want to make, Chair, is that there's a formal proposal that was made pertaining to the way forward, and also the legal advice or the input by our legal advisor in this regard is assisting us very much. So, Chair, I think for us is to agree on the proposal that is on the table, which is to postpone this meeting, and then dispense of this meeting, dedicate sufficient time, and all the key role players be there, and the business rescue not to send representatives, but they are key senior officials that we have requested in the previous meeting be part of the meeting. So the fact of the matter is that we want to dispose of this matter because on the ground, our people have been adversely affected. I don't want to go to the historic background. As well, during our oversight in the Free State, we have visited the post office and so forth. We have received a lot of challenges broadly. So therefore, Chair, I think the proposal on the table for us, we should dispose of it, that we postpone this meeting, reset it aside, whether in the afternoon or in the evening, whatever, and then we deal with the matter once and for all. So that's the point, Chair. But we don't throw the baby out with the water in relation to the input that the DM has said, but we take on board what is our posture as public representatives on this matter. So the business rescue can hide, they can run, but they cannot hide. They are going to account to us. That's the point. We've got to ensure we succeed. So that's the point that I wanted to elaborate on, Chair. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Honourable Mabilu. Honourable Modise.
Thank you so much, Chairperson. Chair, I want to, I don't know if begging is a correct terminology in this meeting, but the same context of begging the meeting to agree to postpone this meeting to a physical meeting next week with all the senior officials of South African Post Office in the meeting, including the DM. And the reason I'm saying this, Chair, just now, between the discussion between Madia and the DM, just exposed another something that this entity is forever playing games. They sit in the office, they write a letter exactly a month ago. They sit on the letter only to dispose it last night. What was the reason for them to have kept the letter written on the 9th of, I think, 8th of May or 9th of May to the 10th of June? What is the reason? What is it that they are hiding from us? When we continue with this meeting in this virtual platform, how do we know that we're going to get the correct information? We know the technicalities. I mean, we struggle to hear member farmer as it is now. The person who's going to present can easily log in and log out and come back and say they're struggling with connectivity, and therefore he doesn't know, she doesn't know how far we have heard. Go back, say this, no, we couldn't hear you, and all of those. Let's get them in a physical meeting, Chair, so that we are able to get to hold this this entity into account. Honorable van den Berg raises a very important matter that it has been a year we've been trying to get hold of this entity. We are finally having an opportunity today to give him a date, a time, and the venue for the meeting. There is no manga business about it, Chair. If we agree here in your summary and in your conclusion that this meeting is postponed until next week, Wednesday, 1600 hours, parliamentary precinct, all of us must be there. There's no two-way about it. We did it with the small business development. We chased them out of the meeting. We gave them the date. We gave them the time. We even indicated that we want the minister in the meeting. The minister was there. The deputy minister was there. The entire team was there. The CEO, the acting CEO, and the DG. We were able to manage to resolve the issues of tax shop or spaza shops in the yesterday's meeting. And comfortably today, we know that there would be a progress in terms of registration of South African-owned spaza shops that must benefit from this 500 million fund. I'm proposing that we take the similar stance, send them packing so that when we meet with them, there are no manga. They are going to hide behind technology. They are going to tell us the person that is supposed to present the logging system, the loggings and what is the internet, and at the end of the day, we have wasted 5 hours of parliamentary time with no proper report. Let's get them into a physical meeting where no one can come up with any excuse, none whatsoever. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you very much, Honourable Modise. I just want to go back to Honourable Farmer to hear if he would still like to raise his issues and to see if we can hear him. Honourable Farmer? Honourable Farmer? Going once, twice, thrice. All right, before I give Mr. Rapul the opportunity to respond, I just want to inform the members that our Secretariat did send everything through to legal services to determine whether the session warrants a closed session. So should we all be in agreement that we refer the meeting or postpone it to an in-person meeting next week, I'll ask Mardia for a date that would suit everybody. We should hopefully have their responses as well. That would be the Parliamentary Legal Services. So in view of that, before a decision is made, because there are two proposals, the one is we carry on and the other one is that we postpone and have a in-person meeting. Could I ask Mr. Rapul or Mr. Damas the opportunity to respond? Thank you.
Chairperson, honourable members, thank you for the consideration to respond. I am the Joint Business Rescue Practitioner, as Juanito introduced earlier on. And yes, there seems to be possibly a misunderstanding here, and I'd like to utilize the opportunity to maybe clarify and or respond to some of the comments or questions put forward by the committee members. There's a couple of points that I've highlighted. Obviously, there's comments directed to the BRPs and comments which I see is directed to the department, and of course, I'm reporting or responding in the capacity of the BRPs. Just on the onset, I just want to highlight that the BRPs are independent. In order for a business rescue practitioner to be appointed on a business rescue matter, there has to be independence. And of course, by virtue of being independent, we are appointed. And I want to confirm to this committee and to everyone that we still remain independent and we value that independence. We certainly are aware of our obligations in terms of handling an entity of the size and complexity that the post office is, and in particular of the public interest that's vested or it's required in this entity. So we are fully aware of our obligations. In that regard, we've made many presentations and transparently so, and updates to our shareholder, to National Treasury, to the various parliamentary committees in the past and now, and we remain committed to doing that. So I think any inference that that the BRPs are hiding or dodging its obligations, we strongly deny that, and we take exception to that. I think that certainly is not the instance or case at all. Just to highlight to the members, we have a reporting obligation in terms of the Companies Act, where we also have to report to creditors on a monthly basis, setting out the status of the business rescue process and the plan. And just for clarification, the BRP plan, the business rescue plan, was adopted by the majority of creditors, and that's the plan that was implemented. And we continue to provide updates on our performance against that plan. And that's not to be confused with the turnaround strategy, which is a section or a separate presentation that was submitted to the committee. So the letter that was flighted at the onset of this meeting still has reference. We do want to place in record, yes, the letter is dated 8th of May 2025. We did submit it on that date. And in terms of the protocol, we submit to the department, which we then understand gets forward or submitted to yourselves as a committee. So I just want to put on record that we have and did submit 2 presentations, and one was marked as confidential. So the intention is and still remains, whether we meet virtually or physically, we've prepared, as the letter that was flighted, we are ready to present our first part of the presentation in this open forum. So just for clarification, the request then is for the second presentation, which is not the full BR plan. It is really the turnaround strategy document that we would like to present in committee, i.e. off camera. And I just want to highlight, as the letter states, we've done this and other committees have allowed this that we've presented to, and we've stated that in the letter. I think it's important to understand that Post Office is a Schedule 2 entity, so we are balancing the interests of having a social mandate and a commercial mandate.
Sorry, man. Mr. Rapul is not helping our meeting. What he's doing is it's extremely out of order. Can we move forward, Chair? Let Mr. Rapul keep quiet. Let the committee decide what needs to happen moving forward. If we decide to continue, we'll give them a chance to present. But what he's doing is out of order. Can we just continue, Chair?
Thank you very much, Honourable Modise. I was going to ask after his presentation how the members, because we have to be transparent, feel about this. I am in accordance with what you are saying, because he is, according to my opinion, trying to twist our arm now. So, Mr. Rapul, there you have it. I'm going to put on the table now the calls that were made by the committee members that we either carry on or we defer the meeting to another sitting where it is physical, where we have the whole department there, Honourable DM, and not an apology from your DG again, who initially asked for a virtual meeting that was approved by the majority of the committee members. As you are well aware, this was going to be an in-person meeting. So, members, could I have a mover and a seconder for the meeting being postponed and that all relevant information be provided to the committee members, because we are sworn to an oath. So there is no way that any of our members would leak any confidential matter to anyone out there. Or if there are members that feel that we should go on, that we then take a vote on this. And should it be that it be postponed, could I then just ask the Secretariat to provide us with a date and the time of such a meeting? I just want to see whose hand is up. I have Honourable Modise, Honourable Dlamini. That's that then. Honourable Modise?
I move for the adoption of the proposal to move the entire meeting, Chair, to a physical meeting, which will happen next week, Wednesday, 6 o'clock at Parliamentary Precinct.
Sister?
Honourable Mabilu, just mute yourself, please. Before I carry on with a seconder, I see Honourable Farmer is now on the platform. I do not know if he would like to still state his case before we take a final decision. Honourable Farmer?
Chairperson, I don't know whether I'm audible now. Or
I can hear
better
you.
audible, I don't know.
Yes, thank you. We can
Thank
hear
you, Chair.
you.
Chair, the point I wanted to make earlier was just that it would be irresponsible of us to divulge into information that might be sensitive information. So I would rather that we go with closed, and if we feel, but this is nonsense, then we can open it up again, rather than being in the open and then later it realized, but we should have been closed. That was the point I wanted to make, but I will second the proposal to go for physical meeting, Chair.
Thank you. Honourable Dlamini?
Chair, I was rising to support the proposal that we go physical, Chair, and us moving towards physical, all the legalities with regard to what we're going to do on the set date be addressed prior and we be informed, Chair. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Before I state the proposals, could I just hear what Honourable van den Berg has to say?
Yes, Chair. My view, as you know, is opposing that. I would have wanted us to, and I second Honourable Farmer, that we would have had access to the information so that we could have determined it for ourselves. But I'm willing to fall into the decision of the majority. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Honourable Mabilu?
Not, I want to say that the air of caution finds expression in relation to the discussion, and therefore the consistency that should permeate our discussions should be validated. So my point was to support the proposals under the table, and that the view as expressed by the DM around caution is not lost. Thank you very much, Honourable Chair. And I think my colleagues have handled this matter very, very well, and I'm very much appreciative of all the contentious issues that we've raised. Our core focus is to save SAPO and to improve the quality of life. That's the core. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you very much. As you said, Honourable Mabilu, we've got to try and save SAPO because many people are dependent on the post offices. But as Honourable Pienaar said, we are working with public funds. So we have to keep them to account with regard, even though they're an independent company, that makes no difference to me here or there, and the regulations that they have to adhere to. But as I indicated earlier on, that the Secretariat has sent everything through to the Parliamentary Legal Services. So that will give us an opportunity to go with the proposal and the seconder that we defer the meeting to next week. And then we will be in a more informed position at that meeting on how we're going to treat it, whether certain sections will be closed or not. Maria, could I ask you just to inform the members which date is available and what time? Thank you very much. Okay, before you come in, Maria, I see Honourable DM's hands up.
Thank you very much, Chair. Maybe before you close, I just wanted to express my gratitude at the same time in the manner the committee is dealing with this matter, and also offer an apology for whatever inconvenience we might have caused. And I do make an undertaking to check where the discrepancies of the dates came from. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that, Honourable DM. We appreciate it. And before I hand over to Mardia, please ensure that the full committee department is available on the date that Mardia is going to give to us now. Thank you very much, Mardia.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, looking at the program, we are, as you indicated, we are scheduled to meet next week, Wednesday, the 18th. We've actually got two sessions, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. In the morning session, we're meeting with Proudly SA, and they've already confirmed the attendance. In the afternoon, we're meeting with the Department of Trade and Industry and Competition, and we'll be receiving a briefing on the APP's stat plans and budget votes. But then can I propose, as Mr. Modisi actually already proposed, that we follow a similar setup to the one we did last night, where we actually meet in the same venue next week, Wednesday on the 18th, from 8 o'clock onward, from 6 o'clock onwards, immediately after the DTIC meeting, for that in-person meeting with SAPO's BRPs and then all the other stakeholders as well, Chair. Chief, I can also just indicate, I see that the DG is also, for the Department of Communications, is also just joined the platform.
Thank you very much for that, Mardia. A little too late, but thank you for joining the platform, DG. Not very happy with what transpired with regard to your request and then not being available. Members, we have the date of the 18th of June from 6 o'clock onwards, like we did last night with Department of Small Business Development. Could I have a mover and a proposer and a seconder? Thank you. Honourable Pienaar.
Thank you, Chair. I move for adoption of the date of the 18th at 6 o'clock. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honourable Mabilo.
Thank you very much, Honourable Chairperson. I support Honourable Pienaar on the proposal. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, honourable members, and thank you to all the persons that provided us with information. We will then go ahead, Mardia, next week, Wednesday in the evening. So if we can just make the necessary applications to the House Chair, it would be appreciated. And in view of that, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson.
Recording stopped.
Thank you, DM. Thank you, Chairperson. Thank you, DM. Always consistent. Thank you.